Remember 9/11, a date that New Yorkers and Americans will never forget. And it's incredible to believe that we're vastly approaching the 10-year anniversary of the terrorist attacks of September 11th. The image captured that day showcased the pain, heartbreak, and other emotions many felt on that unforgettable day. To commemorate these images, several photojournalists have come together to showcase the sadness and recovery since 9/11 in a special photojournalism exhibit. On the phone to tell us more is the co-chair of the exhibition, Christopher Cory, and we thank you for joining us now here on Open, Christopher. Christopher, thank you for joining us. Okay, do we have Christopher? Have a little technical difficulties, but as we said, 9/11 was a day that will be remembered. As we said, 10 years ago to the day, the terrorist attacks of 9/11, 2 airplanes actually going into the World Trade Center, killing thousands, and yet and still the images are ranging far and near. We know about what happened in New York, also Flight 93 taking place in D.C., or I should say Pennsylvania, and then also the Pentagon at Washington, D.C. Overall, it is the nation's opportunity to remember those who lost their lives and those who gave service to 9/11. As we said, Christopher Cory is our guest on the phone, and Christopher tells us a little bit about this photojournalism exhibit. Christopher, good to have you.
Good to be with you, Darren.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, but let's talk a little bit about this exhibit. It's a group of photojournalists coming together and really recapturing the moments.
And it's not just any group of journalists. It's journalists who belong to the National Press Photographers Association, which is the premier organization of news journalists in all of America. Some of the best ones have worked in this show, from all the local papers, El Diario, the Post, the News, the Times, and many of the photo agencies, including Associated Press.
Share with us a little bit about the importance of this, because obviously we know about the video images, but to tell you the truth, to see it from some still pictures as well as video really takes us back to the heart of actually what's going on. What are we seeing in this exhibit?
We're seeing differing views of a lot of images that are very similar, but because so many people have sort of turned the page and are now concentrating on not forgetting, but also looking forward, we have added a big element to this show about the recovery. And we have also put a great deal of emphasis on images that are less familiar of how human beings were affected by the events of those days. We have some gorgeous shots of some people just staring dumbstruck at the destruction that was happening, but we also have pictures of the rescue people, the first responders, the fire people, and the people who are mourning at some of the funerals. And then we transition to the day when the pit was finally cleared, various memorials that were captured taking place in there, and finally almost a ballet of steel ascending into the sky as the Freedom Tower comes under construction.
Thousands of images in which we will be able to see, and tell people where they'll be able to actually see this exhibit.
At the downtown campus of Pace University, which is directly east of City Hall and just south of the Brooklyn Bridge. The address is the side entrance, which is number 3 Spruce Street, and they're coming to the Michael Schimmel Center for the Arts, and you just go downstairs and there's a gallery there. And the show will be open every day from 11 through midnight. There are a couple of days. The website will that. It's www.pace.edu/witness, WITNESS. I think we're having technical problems again.
Yeah, we're having a few technical problems. I want you to stay with us, Christopher. We're trying to work this, little technical difficulty out. But let me ask you, out of all of the images that you saw, and all the images that this group of journalists have come together and actually put together, talk about maybe a couple of them that really stand out in your mind, because for everybody it's a difference. I mean, they'll have different perspectives, but from your perspective, what were some of the most memorable images that you were able to capture?
Well, I think everybody would expect me to say that we do have an image of the people who were so desperate they jumped. But the image that I believe you have really touches me. It shows a man who is, in fact, a photographer for the New York Daily News, who was dragged to safety after pieces of the building started to fall on him and severely damaged both of his legs. Friends of his dragged him to safety in a deli. His name is David Hanshu, and one of his fellow photographers took the picture that you may be seeing right now of him lying there with his legs drawn up in pain and his eyes and his mouth open. And after that picture was taken, the man who took it is a man named Todd Mazel, put down his camera and did what a lot of photographers are tempted to do, and ran for help. And he played two roles that day. He played the photographer and he played the helper, and they got a stretcher. They took Hanshu to safety, and Hanshu has recovered, and he's one of the star photographers of the Daily News right now, and so is Todd Mazel. The other photograph that stirs me enormously is a picture taken by Jim Woolhead, who is the photographer on the payroll of the Silverstein organization that really owns all the property down there. And Mr. Woolhead took a beautiful picture at twilight, looking out toward New Jersey over the Hudson River, with in the foreground the Freedom Tower beginning to emerge from the ground, and behind it the twin beams of light called the Tribute of Light that have been shown every anniversary and will be shown again this time. It's a beautiful juxtaposition of the pain that was indelibly caused by 9/11 and the will and the resolution and the excitement that have gone into the rebuilding. And we've captured both in this show at Pace.
And so we want to tell our viewers that if you want to have an opportunity to look at this exhibit, once again, it's held at Pace University. We encourage you to come on out and partake in it. Christopher, once again, let's give them the dates and the times so that way people will know exactly where they can go and catch these, these very special images.
The downtown campus of Pace University is just east of City Hall, just south of the Brooklyn Bridge. All the subways and buses go there. The entrance to the exhibition is on the side street, which is Spruce Street, that runs between Park Row and Gold Street. Number 3, you can't miss it. It's the Schimmel Center for the Arts, and you just come in anytime in the 2 weeks between the 8th and the 24th. Every day of the week it's be open from 10 in the morning until 6 at night at the downtown campus of Pace.
And there you see the sign saying Witness to Tragedy and Recovery Photo Exhibition. The opening reception taking place on Thursday, as we said, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the multi-purpose room at Pace University. And then you can move over to Schimmel and see all the images that are sure to grip your heart and really recapture
but if they come
the 10-year anniversary of 9/11. Christopher, Cory, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us here.
And we'll want to linger there for a while before the talking begins.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling and sharing with us, Christopher. And as we said, the good work of all those photojournalists capturing the things. Thanks a lot.
They are very brave, every single one of them.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.